I never really knew that history. When they mentioned the Canning Stock Road, we only see that as one, a route for stock from the south to the north or north to the south. That's how we would think of the Canning Stock Road.
They established their communities, Punmo, Parnangor, Konawariji.
From all the elders from the south right up to the north, from Woolona to Halls Creek, Fitzroy Crossing. And all these stories, is about, people's countries, people's relation to country, and relationship with other groups, other tribes, and relationships with their ancestral heroes that they crisscross their country through their area, and how they're related to other tribes from all over the desert. Collaboration with communities, with people coming in and doing projects. Aboriginal people, or mainly the young people, need to be the drivers of the project, that about their people, about all the stuff that they're doing in their community. They need to be the drivers and need to really take it on to say, oh, I'm going to take in charge of that, and work collaboratively with the people who are coming in to do the project. That's one of the biggest things, because with that kind of process, it'll make all the young people mainly really strengthen them in their self-esteem, because I think that's what's lacking in the communities, and that's what we need to build up, and for them to work on something really big, or something that they're going to be proud of, and then travel to other places and meet random people off the street and say, I saw your show, that was amazing, thanks for bringing it to me.
As it evolved, we had to work out different ways of communicating what we were doing to people. There was a lot that we really need to make sure that artists understood what was in there, and to make sure that we had contextualised those things in the right way, and that we hadn't accidentally put things in there that people felt was just not good. So what we ended up doing, how are we going to do this? It's massive. So we ended up printing out all of the exhibition plans onto vinyl, and so that we could roll them up and then roll them out in communities, and you could wipe them down if they got too dirty. And we also made rough cuts of all the films, and we took out, a little DVD player, a little MacBook, and we printed out all the paintings, and we showed them elevations of how the paintings were all sitting next to each other, and then we'd lay them out, the paintings on big A3, so they could see what they actually looked like, in case there were things that were in the wrong order that might, just not make people feel happy. And that was all fine, but people felt good to be able to see for themselves how it was all sort of sitting. And then we'd tell them the stories that we'd put with those themes and how it was coming together. And the multimedia interactive, we made a big printout of the pictures and the stories, and so people could look through it and they could get a sense of what content was actually in the interactive. And again, some of the rough cuts in the films, and a little animation of how the whole thing worked that Lightwell had done for us. Lightwell produced all the interactive programming. And yeah, people were so excited just to be able to see it and start visualising, because they'd been working on this for years by that stage as well, and to see it starting to come to life. And of course our crew, our Aboriginal crew, were really absolutely pivotal in that whole process, and they really took the lead. And they showed all the old people, they're showing the plans and how it worked and what the different themes were, and showing them how the paintings and their order and the interactive. And old people were just so proud to see these young people having achieved this and bringing it to life, and really covering off to make sure that everybody felt really good about it all. We thought we'd done so many approvals by that stage, because we'd been back to communities 3 times to do approvals, and we thought it should be pretty clear, but there were really big things in that very last approvals meeting that really changed what we were doing. that we didn't realise were going to be an issue, and that was fantastic because it just tweaked everything right into place, and just, you know, we knew everything was just perfect and everybody was happy, and we would never have known that, Carly and I, sitting in this office here. You know, we totally needed that direction.
With all the people, you know, that came, that flew over from their communities to for the opening of the exhibition, to see them there, I think that was the biggest proud moment for me, like to see my people there at the opening for their history, for their country. What do you reckon of the show, the exhibition?
I think it's groundbreaking. It takes people on a journey along a long transect across Western Australia, the stock route, which has always been known because of its, you know, droving history and Canning as the explorer. But this is the time where the Madu story is coming up really strongly and showing you that it's going through people's country, that they've always lived out there, that they know about the wells and the water. Canning wouldn't have survived without having Madu to guide him. It's really powerful in the way it comes through in all the paintings.
How we are right now in the exhibition is its place now. It's going to go back to the National Museum of Australia as a permanent exhibition in a space. So I think for repatriation, the stories will go back to the communities, and they must go back to the communities, because they are the stories of, you know, who the people who worked on the project gave their life story, gave their history about what happened in their region, about the different dreaming tracks that they recorded, you know, willingly